once again, material science and how to study this subject in Germany. Here's the agenda for today. There are changes. We were supposed to have 4 speakers, but the program in battery materials and technology will be rescheduled, most probably to 28th of February, but I will let you know. This will be also included in a follow-up email. But before that, who is behind today's session? This is 𝘗𝘔𝘔𝘁𝑔𝘢𝑚𝑎N University, a database of English taught study program, but you can also find here some German taught, not some, but all German taught study programs as well. In case you also want to find German study programs, you can check out the study finder, but I doubt because we have today's session is dedicated for English taught study programs. And here's a database which has lots of filters. You can combine those filters, and then the search results are according to your desires in terms of specific subject, city. I don't know if you already have your English tests available, a specific score is there, and you're searching for programs that will be accepting it. So you can sort programs according to different criteria, and this will of course save your time. Why do you need this? I will show you in a minute. What you can also find on our page is articles. There are more than 200 comprehensive articles. There are on broader and specific topics. There are even country-specific articles. Most frequently viewed usually is about scholarships or visa. And in terms of visa, we have a number of articles, even the visa processing time. So if you are applying for, you need to apply for visa, this will be also relevant to you. And finally, of course, the webinars to stay connected. We have general and subject webinars. In general webinars, my colleagues Oliva and Mari present broader topics like UniAssist, scholarships, visa, studying in Germany generally. And even today, if you will be asking broader questions, I will direct you to them, or also to our articles, because in those general webinars, we also have 30-minute Q&A where you are welcome to ask general questions. And in a subject webinar like today, we advise you using this time for the benefit understanding the programs better, and in terms you have questions regarding application, etc. This is a great chance of directly communicating with program representatives, and we are of course always thankful for their time to be in a webinar. And of course our team, very international, from different countries, different backgrounds. What unites us? Obviously Germany, having experience of studied in Germany, and we are happy to share our insights about that with you. And of course, we have German team members who also already have this German view, and then combination is the best mix for you to start your studies. Now, as I mentioned, the study finder is useful because if you search for material science programs, you see 203 relevant degree programs. Of course, the first natural breakdown will be into bachelor and masters, but even if it's, for example, for masters, there are 175. So that you don't go to all programs by one, you can adjust lots of filters. For example, program features, the university type, in terms of finances, requirements, application, etc. And then the search is smaller as a number, and then you can already look through specific programs. What I did here is about the language requirements in case you are not ready to start your studies in German right away. You can select the filter no German required, and then maybe take some German classes while you are already in the country. In case you don't know how it feels studying material science in Germany, then we also have subject pages that provide general overview of different aspects of the subject, even career perspectives, etc., etc. So feel free to check that out. I can also post the link in chat later. One advice, or today I will have 2 advices. One is to select program according to program content, not be guided only by names or city names, etc., because all programs are different, and you will hear that today as well. And I want to also mention about the university differences in Germany, because in Germany there are universities or technical universities and universities of applied sciences. We have a nice article about the background about in this regard, or why there were differentiations. But what is important today to kind of have in mind, if you wish, is that universities usually do offer programs that are more research and theory oriented, and universities of applied sciences usually have programs that are more application and practice oriented. In previous years, there were some restrictions in terms of PhD, which are no longer applicable. And I mentioned this because I frequently get questioned, can I continue with PhD if I graduate from University of Applied Sciences? Can it be done there as well? That's why I just wanted to mention that no worries, you can of course do that. And second advice will be to search programs by subject, not by program name, because not all programs are called Bachelor or Master in Material Science. There could be some wording differences so that you don't miss out the nice programs. We advise you to search by subject and of course then apply different filters to make your search more easy and shorter list as well. All right, so now the most important part starts, and we start with the programs. The first program to be presented will be Master in Science, Soft Matter and Materials. This is a program from University of Mainz and TU Darmstadt, and we have Professor Dr. Sebastian Seifert here as a guest speaker, and I thank you very much for being here, and the virtual mic is yours.
All right, so I hope you can see and hear me now. Looks good. Thanks a lot for giving the opportunity to present our master program or international master program on soft matter and materials. Perhaps I should start with telling you what soft matter actually is. This is a question that I also always clarify in the very first lesson unit of my lecture on this topic. And I usually quote from a very beautiful book that I enjoy very much from the Italian scientist Roberto Piazza, who entitled his book, Soft Matter, the Stuff That Dreams Are Made Of. Once I attended a conference and learned another nice definition of what soft matter is by another soft matter scientist, by the German and French scientist 𝘗𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘪𝘯𝘨, who said, soft matter is the stuff you're not supposed to bring on an airplane. And I open my presentations usually with this slide, which is sort of an adaptation of the title cover of this book. And once the author of this book, Roberto Piazza, came across this and made up this, a mixture of both, soft matter is the stuff that you dream about bringing on the airplane. Okay, what is soft matter actually? The term soft matter was framed by the French scientist 𝘗𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘪𝘯𝨊 Desgennes, Nobel Prize laureate in physics for the discovery of the class of materials named soft matter. And he outlined what soft matter is in his Nobel Prize speech by opening this Nobel Prize speech with the words, what do we mean with soft matter? Americans prefer to call it complex fluids, but this is a rather ugly name, which tends to discourage the young students. So basically, according to Desgennes' definition, soft matter is everything that is subject to this or that exhibits this. Matter that is built up of building blocks held together by comparably weak interaction energies in the range of some multiples to some tens of multiples of the thermal energy. Building blocks that are rather large with size scales of some tens to hundreds of nanometers and that move comparably slowly due to their large size with relaxation times in the range of some tens to hundreds of milliseconds, can be even larger. And this rather very general definition makes a huge variety of materials. Pretty much everything that falls into this triangular diagram is soft matter. So everything that is made out of polymeric, colloidal, amphiphilic building blocks and all different sorts of hybrids in between, making a very rich world of materials that has made our life very comfortable. And that actually is also the basis of life, because also biological matter is in many cases soft matter. Soft matter is therefore the basis of life and the basis of its quality. And so it's also basis of huge industries that make all different sorts of products that make our life comfortable out of soft matter materials, many of which located in the German Rhine-Main area. And this made us think to combine the universities of Mainz and Darmstadt that are centered in this area to offer an international program on this very topic. So this studying program is a program offered by both Mainz University and Darmstadt University. It's halfly taught at the place of Mainz and halfly taught at the place of Darmstadt semester-wise. and thereby combines the expertise of these multiply synergistic institutions and regions in terms of chemistry, physics, theory and practice, and application relevance. The studying program consists of 4 semesters. You can start either in summer or winter, separated to the places of Mainz and Darmstadt. If you start in winter, you will start in Mainz. If you start in summer, you will start in Darmstadt, and vice versa. It's an English program that has some entry requirements. In the English proficiency, it's C1 level that you can prove by multiple types of certificates that we accept. The detailed list is found on our program's website. This is how the lecturing program looks like. So if you start in the winter, you start with some mostly chemistry-related contents taught at the place of Mainz, at the University of Mainz, and also at our very close by Max Planck Institute for Polymer Research. And then the second term is in Darmstadt, more physics-related content, until in the 3rd semester, you are entering already a quite hands-on time where you have larger extended research modules, which then finalize in the master thesis. And the program can also be started in summer, then just the 1st and the 2nd semester are switched. The places of Mainz and Darmstadt are close by locations, mutually synergistic in the vibrant Rhine-Main area, surrounded by big industries that are all potential employers for our graduates. Here is, again, the sketch that I showed and an even more detailed view on the rich variety of companies that we have in our area, from fields of material science, medicine, pharmaceutical science, chemical science, including global players like BASF or Procter & Gamble, all have big branches in soft matter-based materials and soft matter-related materials. The application of our program, or to our program, is you need to hold a suitable bachelor degree in chemistry, chemical engineering, physics, or material science, plus proof of some existing laboratory experience to make sure you will master the chemistry and specifically the practically related chemistry classes. And as said already, English proficiency at C1 level, which you can prove by a huge variety of different certificates that we apply. Application deadlines are April 1st and September 1st for the respective summer or following summer and winter term via the website of the Mainz University. Here is a screenshot of our website. Above there, you see a rather lengthy domain that you can either note down, or you can simply type in soft matter and materials Mainz to a search engine of your choice. And this will direct you to the websites, either the ones based on Mainz University or the one based at Darmstadt University, where you also find this. And of course, we have a team of people available that are always interested and eager to get in touch with you and answer all different sorts of questions. I'm the program spokesperson and coordinator at the place of Mainz. We also have Regine von Klitzing, who is my counterpart in Darmstadt. And of course, we have people who are even more knowledgeable than us about the studying enrollment and the studying organization, which are our studying advising managers that you also see here. And you also find all their contact details on the website. That is it from my side. Happy to answer your questions.
Thank you very much, Professor, for the detailed presentation. I just shared the application period in the chat, and of course the course page. So dear attendees, you are welcome to check that out right away if you want, or later. There are some questions which you can take in written, or in case you have time to stay, then we could also voice them in the live Q&A. But before that, I would like to then invite our second guest to this virtual mic, or Dr. Oliver Reimschneider, who will be talking about Master Material Science and Engineering from Kiel University. The location, previous one, and here as well, you can see the map. And yeah, I'll stop the screen share and give the mic to you.
So thank you very much, and I hope you can see all the presentation. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this presentation. My name is 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘴𝘪𝘯𝘨. I'm head of the International Master Degree Program 𝘗𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘴𝘪𝘀 International at Kiel University, and I want to introduce to you the Master Degree Program Focus Master in Materials Science, which is offered by Kiel University. And I have a link to my slides. So first, some words about Kiel University. It's an old university founded in 1965 by the Duke of Schleswig-Holstein in the northern part of Germany. And up to date, it's the most northern full university in Germany. And he gave his university a motto. This motto was Pax Optima Rerum, which is still on our seal, and it's retained relevant up to date, I think so. So despite these ideas and good intentions, after several wars, we have to rebuild everything from our university. And what you now see is new buildings built up in the 60s, and we just started to rebuild also these buildings. You can find 8 faculties in our university, which offer 240 degree programs with approximately 20,007 students. And they are supported and taught by more than 400 professors and 3,700 staff members. Kiel University is among the top 350 university worldwide and has 2 successful cluster of excellence in Germany. This is a support program of the government of Germany for research, for very good research in universities. Kiel University is also very active in regional, national, and international cooperation. So maybe we have a cooperation with your home university at time. And the city of Kiel is the capital city of the country of Schleswig-Holstein nowadays. So we have more or less 250,000 inhabitants in the small city of Kiel. But if you correlate to the number of students, every 10th of inhabitant in Kiel is a student. So by this, we are a real university city. Speciality on Kiel is that we're surrounding the Kiel Fjord. This means that the water is more or less inside in the middle of the town. And maybe you have heard about Kiel by Kiel Canal or Kiel Week. Kiel Week is very special because it's one of the most important weeks in the year for all inhabitants of Kiel, because it's the largest sailing event of the world and one of the largest fair and party in Northern Europe, which we have once a year. More than 4 million visitors come to Kiel for this week. And the Kiel University is spread more or less all over the city because we are such a university city. So you can see we have several campus areas in the city, and the most important, of course, comes up as number 5 at this point, because this is the engineering campus on the right side of the water, more or less, and you can see it on this image. Oh, I have missed my laser pointer, will come. We are resident here at this area, and you see we are next to the industrial area of Kiel City. There you can find us in your study course maybe. So this Faculty of Engineering, which is resident there, was founded in 1990. So you see the university is still developing itself. Next year, the university will have their 360 years anniversary, and the faculty, TF, will have 35 years. By starting this new faculty in 1990, international master degree programs were also established at this university. And together with this small campus we have just for engineering, we have a very special condition for studying engineering in Kiel, because more or less half of our students are from abroad on this campus. Even if the University of Kiel has at least 7 up to 10% international studies students in this campus for engineering, we have at least 40 up to 50% international students. So this is a very multicultural cooperation and teaching at this campus area. We start each semester with 20 up to 40 students. So we have small groups, very good supervision by the lecturers and staff members, and a very familiar study situation in our area. And as I mentioned before, we start to rebuild our buildings. This is your new lecture hall, which we opened last year if you decided to come to Kiel. So the 𝘗𝘢𝘪𝘥𝘷𝘦𝘳𝘴𝘪𝘯𝘨 International Degree Program covers all master courses and doctoral topics from the Department of Materials Science. And inside this, we start to offer a new Focus Master degree program in winter term 25-26. And if you now look on the web pages of my German university, it's not what's given there because they're the old study course. I got the permission to offer this study course last week by the dean and the president. So it's real new, but if you apply now for studying in Kiel, you will take this study course for the next intake in winter 25-26. So I, of course, will present this to you because this makes more sense at this. The most topics are still the same. We reorganized the structure of our studies. So by the Focus Master, you will get more flexibility in studying. In the end, you will earn 2 certificates, 2 grades. You will once get the, on one hand, you get the Master of Science in Material Science. On the other hand, you get an additional focus certification, which shows you as a proven expert in material science in a special topic as Master 𝘗𝘢𝘕 And by this, we will start in next winter term with 4 official topics. This is material science for microsystem and fabrication, energy and electronic materials, modeling and simulation, and business administration. These are the 4 focus you can select, or you can select none of them and make a so-called freestyle. Then you get just a Master of Material Science without this additional focus certification at this point. If you make a freestyle, these are the topics, these are the names of the chairs of our professors, which you can co-work with. So general impression, we have many topics you can also give, but at least we have to decide to make 4 focuses for the start, just to have an overview and to handle all these things. How is a Focus Master built up? For this Focus Master, we have 4 areas. We have basic modules, advanced focus, and competence modules, which you have to fulfill by earning credit points, special number of credit points. Especially for the basic modules, we are starting with topics concerning or starting with the level which our bachelors who has left bachelor degree in Kiel has reached at this point. Because we are open to all other bachelor degrees, more or less, which are correlated to natural science or engineering, everyone will start with his own compulsory and elective combination of modules at this point to bring all of you after the first semester on one level that we could go deeper in material science. So in the advanced modules, you get the possibility to deepen your knowledge in material science on a broad topic. This means like solid state physics or solid state chemistry or something like this. And on a focus, you can deepen on a special topic. So this 40 credit points are must presented out of a list of modules which we have created for each focus. On the list, you find compulsory and elective modules. And while 25 credits are from compulsory and 15 are from elective, which you have to bring in. Adding or additional to this, we have competence modules where you have a look beyond the horizon of what you are studying. So you have a free choice on the entire university. Normal-wise, taken language courses for international students can be brought in here at this point. So a little bit more detail on what I had said before. This is how it looks, for example, for the energy and electronic materials focus, which we have here. We have in the first semester things like solid state physics and chemistry, thermodynamics, or higher mathematics, which you have all to pass. And in the second semester, then you can decide if you have to, in the green areas, advanced modules, you can take advanced solid state physics and advanced thermodynamic kinetic, but of course you're free also to take completely different topics like advanced electrochemistry. If you decide for this focus, you have now some compulsory focus modules. These are the blues, which on the right hand, and electives on the left hand. So if you will fulfill this focus, you have, for example, to take advanced energy materials, physics and chemistry of battery systems, and as an immersion, organics and hybrid optoelectronic devices in a theory and in a practice. This means theory and lab. And you have a focus project, which you have also to pass. On the left hand, you have some electives. We have a list at least of 10 electives for each focus, which you can choose from. And here, for example, some special things like chemistry, electrochemistry of biomaterials or semiconductors and defects, or neuromorphic systems and for cognitive computing at this point. So why should it be so good to study something like this here in Kiel? Our goal is to bring you a reliable knowledge about solids, especially about functional materials. You should earn You should be able to research and develop in this area. Therefore, you learn actual advanced theories and practice skills about this topic. You get a comprehensive problem-solving strategy, and you learn thinking interdisciplinary on this topic. Especially under condition, you will have many experience in group work in an intercultural way at this point. On the other hand, you should become a specialist and expert on your focus. So you have a research-oriented study program. This means you learn research in a work group of a professor. This is directly correlated to your focus. It's been covered by the chair of these professors. So you have all your colleagues, all the professors which are surrounding this, to develop key skills and to deepen these key skills. This should support you in your independency and creativity on this topic. On the other hand, of course, we are looking for the job market, and what you come up is a specialist or coordinator in your focus area, especially in research and development. But of course, we can also bring or support you in founding and teaching, but I have not enough time to present all the things here. Our goal market is high-tech industry, every industry which is doing active research and development. Yeah, it's like semiconductors, energy, environmental, medical, life science, biotechnology, and so on. This is our master for. Why you should do this in Kiel? Yes, we have some, or actually many professors which are looking for this focus master. Here, the names and their portraits. You can have an impression of them. You can Google them. And you see four of them are not only at our department, they are also working at research institutes outside, like 𝘱𝘢𝘪𝘥 next to Hamburg, or the Fraunhofer Institute for Semiconductor Technologies. We have many interesting topics you can then do research and you can your master's thesis in, and you can go on with, like biomedical or solar cell design or environmental design, like development of small scale plastic theories and so on. These are just few topics. We have much more, but at least 6 were available on this page. We have cooperations with many industry partners. So most of our projects are correlated to any industrial partner. So you can work together with these companies. And of course, this is your first step into these companies, because you have, of course, meetings and so on with them together. This is a step forward. And the most important thing, I think, is look at the smile on the faces here. Yeah? So we're very familiar. We're a small group, and we all have very fun, and we can co-work on a very special way here in Kiel, because we are so small and closed, and closed campus at this area. If you're interested to do so, the most important address you have to remember is 𝘗𝘢𝘕.com, because this is our information website next to my German university, where all information and requirements are given, how to apply. There's also given a link to our application server, so you can apply directly at our application server. It's free of charge. It's completely different for the most other study courses. If you're interested to do so, next application period is from January 20th up to February 16th for an intake in winter term 25-26, so next month more or less. If you have any questions, feel free to discuss with us afterwards, or please send an email to me or my colleagues if you're interested or have any questions. And in this short time, that's all. First of all, thank you very much. And nice to hear you.
Thank you very much, Professor, for the details, all the information. I think people are interested, as I see a few questions in Q&A, which we of course can then discuss in the last part of today's session. Dear attendees, the 𝘗𝘢𝘪𝘥 page and the email address are in chat, so make sure to save them and then directly contact dear program representatives. Now I will share my screen. And give the virtual mic to University of Bayreuth, I have Dr. Michael Brüting on slide, but she also has backup team, Professor Dr. Jan-Philipp Schmidt, who is also here and will be assisting, or yeah, they know how to divide the presentation better.
Program coordinator. My name is Maike Brüting, and as was mentioned already, Professor Schmidt is also here. So I will first of all introduce the University of Bayreuth more generally, and then Professor Schmidt will introduce the specifics of the master's program to you. I would like to start with a short video to give you some impressions of what student life at the University of Bayreuth looks like. Yeah, so that was just a very short intro. Here you see once again where we are located in Bavaria, in the northern part of Bavaria. So Bavaria is, as a German state, is rather strong in research and technology. Many small and medium-sized companies are based also in the northern Bavarian region, and then as you may know, a lot of renowned large companies, German companies, come from Bavaria. So, for example, Siemens, BMW, Audi, MAN, and Varta are also based in Bavaria. Bayreuth itself is rather a small city with 75,000 inhabitants, of which around 12,000 students at our university. So it is a smaller university town, but has a lot to offer in terms of leisure activities in the region, as well as on campus and in the city. It is a campus university, so characterized by short distances between our university buildings, and many student events are also held directly on campus, as you can see in the pictures. So, for example, university sports, open air concerts, art exhibitions, and so on. On the left side here, you see an overview of the campus. So this is where your student life in Bayreuth will be focused on if you choose to study in Bayreuth. And below, you just see an impression of some of our research facilities. Bayreuth University is a young university. It was founded in 1975. So we will have our 50th anniversary next year. And University of Bayreuth is actually ranked among the top 40 universities under 50 years worldwide. Approximately 17% of our students currently are from abroad. And what I would also like to point out to you in this statistics slide is that a strong focus on battery research was developed in the last 5 years here in Bayreuth. So we have a total of 25 working groups which are active in battery research on campus. And specifically 12 professorships were newly created to focus really on battery research. So this will be the environment where you will be studying. And I now hand over to Professor Schmidt.
Yeah, thank you, Maike, for the introduction of our university. So actually, my chair is one of the new chairs that have been founded recently. And we have not only the university as a background, but also in the last years, the Bavarian Center for Battery Technology was founded there. So it's a central research institute within the University of Bayreuth, and it focuses on all the topics around batteries, and of course also then battery materials. And it was founded because we recognized that actually researching batteries needs a strong disciplinary approach. That means it's not just sufficient to be chemist or to be engineer, actually you need to be both at the same time, or at least work together with people from the other department. And that's also then how we structure the whole program around to really have this very broad interdisciplinary approach to get to know to all the different fields. Next slide, please. Okay, so what we are looking at the BIBAT, the Bavarian Center for Battery Technology, and also within our study program, is actually the whole range of battery and battery applications. We start from rather atomistic structures, go to particles, electrodes. Of course, then you still don't have a working battery cell. You have to build then the whole electrode pair. Then you can maybe run it, not on a sufficiently large scale. You're going to make a battery out of that one, a battery module. That's maybe where you leave again more the material science and go into the direction of battery systems and learn actually how to apply those knowledge, and maybe also learn why you have certain requirements for your material that you use inside your battery. So the idea actually is to offer this broad range to be capable of understanding why you're doing special things with special requirements within the battery, coming from the very small side or from the large system. So within our Bavarian Batteries Center, we have a graduate school. Maybe that's interesting for you in future then after you did first year master there. But of course, also we have this master program, and we have the German taught battery technique, but as well, and that's why we're here today, the battery materials and technology, which is completely taught in English. Like I already mentioned, it's interdisciplinary, and that's why we have also fundamental lectures in the engineering part, but also in the chemistry part. We may then later on specialize in natural science or the engineering field again. Okay, next slide, please. And here maybe now some more details on the battery program. So the general idea is to get you out of the program as a qualified expert in battery technology, and you should be able to interact also within other domains, like talking to engineers if you come from the more chemistry side, or talking to the chemists if you come more from the engineering side. So to actually work on batteries. Yeah, admissions is also stated here on the side. So we start our program in summer and winter terms, so it's possible to start in both terms. Our deadlines are 15th of January or 15th of July respectively, and you can apply right away. So there's no starting date for that. What is necessary, actually having either a Bachelor of Science in Engineering Science and Material Science would be, of course, a perfect fit, to be honest. But it's also possible, like coming from chemistry, physics, or something that's equivalent. And for us today, it's more important that it can be studied in English. But if you would like to really have the full German experience, you can, of course, also study this in German. Yeah. And you find more details, like how many credits you would have to have in math and so on in our website as well. Okay, next slide. So like I already mentioned, the focus is also, like the title says, on batteries. So we are really concentrated and focused on battery applications. It's interdisciplinary, and we have special alignment modules because we also have the possibility to have maybe chemists coming in, or also engineers which are not direct material scientists. In the end, everybody has to work together and understand also the language of the others. And that's why it's important that we build in some alignment modules which are selected really depending on your background. That means if you come from the engineering side, maybe you are an electrical engineer, so I'm a trained electrical engineer, then actually I would miss a lot of the competences actually a chemist would have. So that said, I would probably then be given as a student things like chemistry courses to catch up a little bit on that part, and then be able to discuss also with my fellow students on the topics and follow also the courses that we have as core modules later on. Later in the program, then you can also focus more on topics that you are interested in. So we have also research modules you can do where you are working actually directly in the lab of a chair. So you could, for example, go into a direction of polymer materials for batteries, or also do post-lithium-ion battery technologies. And what I think also a lot of other chairs like mine have is, for example, impedance methods for characterization of batteries and battery materials. Yeah. And maybe next slide, so we can have a look at a study plan. So our structure is made up like this. So as I already mentioned, we have these alignment modules, which should help actually you to align with the other students to be on a common basis where you can then follow along all the courses. And then you have 6 core modules: battery system technology 1 and 2, which is more the perspective of the engineering side on the whole battery topic. We have the battery materials 1 and 2 courses, which are then more focused on the materials, and electrochemistry 1 and 2 as core modules. But you can also then specialize beginning in the second semester and selecting compulsory choice modules depending on what you're interested in. So you could either go more into the engineering direction or the chemistry direction, depending on what's actually in your interest. And in the third semester, you already go into the into the lab and going to have real research experience in our research modules, which should then also prepare you for the master thesis, which will be also done by doing your research plan. And then we'll do the master thesis in the 4th semester. And that's it already. So if you have further questions, need some more information, then you can just go on our website, and I think there's everything provided there, or you can, of course, directly contact me or Maike as a program coordinator. Thank you.
Yeah, dear attendees, for this program, one thing also important to mention, as an international, I believe that you need to have a BPD from UniAssist. So if you want to apply for the January deadline, you should already do it now, because you need time to get this BPD. Otherwise, then in case it comes later, it's valid for 1 year, so you could apply for the June deadline with the same BPD, dear attendees. All right, great, thank you. Then we have time for the Q&A. And yeah, Dr. Schneider, thank you very much for answering questions also in written. The remaining ones, we will voice them now. So the very first question, which was answered individually by all speakers, is there a general deadline for master studies in Germany? No. Even, first of all programs have their own deadlines. Some programs have 2 deadlines. All of that was mentioned today. If you want me to repeat any of the program deadlines, let me know. I can do that. Second question was for all guests. Maybe we could start with 𝘗𝘢. Hello, question for all guests. Completed my bachelor's fully in English in Canada. Do I still need to provide any extra certificate? And second is it possible to do an exchange semester?
Who will start?
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Okay. So if you're a natural English speaker, of course, you don't need to add in any special certification at this point, of course. It's the same if you have finished your bachelor degree completely in English, then it's also not needed. Just bring in the certification from your examination office that it's like this. And I lost the second question, sorry.
The second was, is it possible to do an exchange semester?
Yes, of course you can do. You can do, because we have a large part of electives, and we are willing to accept as electives also fitting modules from other university. For this, it's very easy to make an exchange semester here at this point, especially we're looking for higher semesters like the 3rd one or something like this for this topic. This is from Kiel University.
Yeah. Maybe right now, whoever wants to take this 2 questions.
Sure. I will just go ahead and Professor Schmidt can add anything that I forget. For us, yes, if the bachelor's degree was completed in Canada, then we would accept that. But in general, we do require certificates like TOEFL or IELTS for certain countries, and we only make exceptions in rare cases where it's like Canada, USA, UK, where the studies was completed. And it's also possible to do exchange semesters here. Similarly as in Kiel, I would say that the third semester would maybe be recommended for that once you have done all the fundamental lectures, and especially it is also possible to do one of the research modules abroad, either at a university or in a company as well.
Thank you. Another general question for both, maybe again to start with Kiel University. If my ECTS is 180, not 210, is it problematic for your programs? Yeah, bachelor's.
So for Kiel, it's no problem because we have a 4-semester master degree program, so we need at least 180. If you have more, nothing happens.
And I guess it's the same for Bayreuth?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, great. And so this is a question for Bayreuth. Can I graduate with a bachelor's degree in electrical and electronics with 2.8 German GPA be admitted to the Master Science Battery Materials and Technology course?
In theory, yes, but we don't only look at the average grade, we take several factors into account. So for example, also at which university the bachelor's degree was obtained, and also how your curriculum was structured. So we check this, how well it fits with our program, and then based on this, a decision is made.
Thank you. The next question I will take: without blocked account, any one program available? So blocked account is not a requirement of study programs. This is a requirement for your visa. And yeah, all programs are free of blocked account, but for visa, you need to have one. Therefore, yeah, but programs do not have tuition fees, or you can check that also if in case you are looking for a specific program. But it doesn't affect blocked account, unfortunately. I will go back to the answered questions because there were some program-related questions or content-related questions for Kiel, which was already answered, but maybe others could also be interested in that and they don't know yet. So question for Kiel: what kind of research facilities and equipment are available for hands-on project in areas like nanotechnology or energy materials? So it was already answered, but if you don't mind, we could maybe once again mention it. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. So we are looking for free project work from all of our students. This is very important. This is something we will support, especially as with this Focus Master. So for this, we built up a so-called functional material lab. This is a free lab for all students where they can work or do their project work inside. Correlated to this lab is all the equipment at the chairs. So you are, as I mentioned before, you are working very close to all the work groups of the professors. So if you're interested to use TEM or something like this, it's also possible with your own project, hands-on project, just question the leader of this lab, and then of course you get contact to use this. Of course, I can't list now every equipment we have placed there, but you are more or less free to use everything we have here into our labs.
Okay, thank you so much. And one question which was again answered for Bayreuth is about the career prospect and career support. Maybe a few words about that.
Yeah, I can do that. So I think one question was if there are assistant jobs, and yes, that's actually we have quite a lot of students doing assistant work at the different chairs. It's also a very good opportunity actually to do real work in the lab and also to focus on the work and learn a little bit more about the different chairs and opportunities. And if maybe career is not just following up this academic path and doing a PhD, which is possible, but I know that I would say more than half the students already come here and want to go in industry, and that's of course also possible. As we are very focused on applications, we have a lot of research projects together with companies, like depending on which scale you're working on. So I'm working a lot more with OEMs like BMW, for example, but other colleagues which are more on the material side work together with BASF. And so we have also the opportunity to get into contact with the companies there, either in project work or by our teaching as well. So we have our Vivat seminar where we have regularly also speakers from industry. So I think it's a good opportunity also to do networking there if you're interested in following up a job in industry later on.
Great. Maybe the same question for Kiel about career and assistantship jobs.
Okay, jobs, of course, we can offer in the range of our projects. This is very common, especially for master students, of course. At least not in the first semester. You have firstly to show a little bit up what your qualities are for this research, of course, but then it will absolutely common to do so. It's the same for the master projects. If you have a master job, because we are correlated mostly to any companies, of course, you have also any paid job in this area, mostly for the master thesis too.
Great. Wonderful. Thank you very much. I don't see any more open questions. I want to just remind you, dear attendees, that the deadlines are February 16th and then 15th of January or 15th of July. So take into account for Kiel, it's a direct application. So it's in terms of process a bit easier. For Bayreuth, you need to do a VPD, which is also not a complicated thing, but you just need a bit more time to get this document. Therefore, I always advise attendees or applicants not to postpone until the very last week,